up? It's your girl Free coming at you guys live with another exclusive vlog. I'm in the lovely city of Los Angeles, and I'm so happy to be bringing you an interview from.
You got your boy HBK Jachi in this motherfucker, man.
Okay, so pronounce your name again.
Alright, so yeah, for the people who don't know, my name is Jachi. HBK Jachi. Not Jakai, not Jackie.
Okay, I got a confession. I've been calling you Jakai. And TK and Picasso corrected me nah sis, that ain't the right thing. How did you come up with that because that spelling don't look like it would sound like that. And how did you come up with that name?
Really, I came up with it because my real name Joshua, you feel me, for the people who know me and shit, but people was calling me Joshi. I ain't really like that. As I got older, I ain't like Joshi, you feel me? It kind of sound like that's some shit you call a nigga when he a kid or something. So I just made it like Jachi, you feel me? I just made it with a CH instead of SH.
Right.
Type, switched the letters, you feel me?
Right. Okay. And so, while we're on the subject of your name, because I've been wondering, where does the HBK come from? Are you a part of the HBK gang with I Am Sue and all them? Where does that come from?
Nah, that really came from really just me trying to put some stuff that I used to watch wrestling and shit too, Shawn Michaels and shit. It really stand for Heartbreak Kid. A lot of people will probably use that shit or probably, but it really stand for Heartbreak Kid. But for me, really, I'm the heartbroken one, heartbroken kid. I've been through a lot, you feel me, in the streets, losing homies to the system and certain little shit, family members and so that's really what that came from for me.
Okay. All right. Because I definitely wondered, and I never knew what it meant, even for the HBK gang and stuff. I don't know what theirs means either, but I just was wondering, and I'm pretty sure other people want to know too. Are you a part of their? Do you know them?
No, I'm a solo artist. No, I don't know.
Has there been any controversy with that?
Nah.
Oh, okay.
Nah.
All right.
Sure.
Cool. Is that a common thing? You know how other people might put EBK in front of their names? Is that is the HBK a common thing people put? That you've been seeing, or just you and them?
I've been seeing it get more common over time, but I feel it wasn't at first. Not really. Over time, you feel me? People started using it more, and it became more popular. Yeah.
Okay.
For sure.
All right. Well, tell us a little bit about yourself. Let us know who you are, where you're from. Give us a brief background.
Well, I'm from Westmont, California, which is it's a small little area inside of South Central or LA, for me, whichever. I'm 24. Shit, really I grew up every other kid. You feel me? I don't know. It's the same poverty and shit, gang banging. Shooting and shit, but I started out playing basketball, so that was my first thing I did before music. Really throughout high school, and then I didn't really have grades to go to college and play sports, so I had to start trying to figure out what I'm gonna do after I graduate. Mom's on a nigga head oh, what you gonna do? So anyway, I graduated and I started getting into music. I had already been like the music and always been around music. My mom, she a big fan of Tupac, shit like that. You feel me? So I start making my own little songs, and I ended up being cool at it. I made my first song with my cousin. I probably was this was before high school, but it was just on some playful type shit. But when I made my first actual track in the studio with Ron the producer. This was probably
I know
2016, 2017 or something. But yeah, that's from there. That's how it all started for real. I laid my first track down. It was hard. All my people around me fucking with it and shit, so it motivated a nigga to keep going. I just kept it going. I just kept learning shit, watching other big artists, how they rap in the studio, how they move and shit. I just put it into my own life, into my own way. Shit, that's what I've been doing since. But yeah, that's pretty much I could tell you about me for real.
That's pretty much a summary of you.
Pretty much a little small summary. High schools I went to and shit. I went to Inglewood for a semester. I went to this high school called University High. Yeah. What else? I went to a school in the Valley at one point, high school. Like I was moving around a little bit because I was playing sports, so it's like I was trying to find the perfect school for me.
Right.
And then my house I got shut up in LA where I was staying at, so my mom had transitioned. She moved like to a little further out in the valley. So I'm just back and forth, basically trying to figure it out. But I mostly like I wanted to be in LA, but she was trying to keep me, she did her best to trying to keep me out of LA and shit. But I was still
right,
you know.
Right. Okay, so I'm glad you brought that up because I wanted to ask you, what was it like for you growing up out here in LA? Like, tell us a little bit of the background of your childhood and, what you were doing and all that.
Well, really, like, when I was a kid, like, I grew up, like, it was a game-making environment, but, like, I don't know, like, my mom and my peoples, they was trying their best to keep us from not getting involved with that type of stuff, but we was around it for sure, like, but like I ain't like struggling, like I wasn't like home, like nothing like that, like I had both of my parents, you feel me, got both of my parents, dad and mom, sister, brother and shit, like in the house, like, I really like a good kid, low key, like in a way. I did bad things, of course, every kid, you feel me, but like everything was cool in my household, everything was straight, like me coming up, like I just seen a lot of like stuff around my neighborhood, because of where the neighborhood I grew up in, shootings, killings and stuff like that, gang banging. Like I used to be at the park, like sometime Jesse Owens Park, I played basketball there, like certain little parks, I was just moving around the city, just like as a kid, just, I don't know, like really, I used to sell candy as a kid, like, go to school, sell candy, like I used to just be like every other kid for real, like in a neighborhood like me.
How would you describe the neighborhood you grew up in? Because I'm not familiar with that area of Los Angeles, and the vlog might not be either. So let us know what that area is like. Let us know what it's called again?
Westmont.
Westmont, okay.
Yeah.
So what was it like for you growing up in Westmont? As far as the outside environment and the things going on around you as a kid?
It was cool, like other than that, like other than like all the negative stuff, it was cool, like growing up in Westmont. I used to just really just do me. Like, it was fun. We used to like other than all that stuff, we used to go to the park, pool and shit. It's dangerous, like I don't know, it's like it's a lot.
What was dangerous about that area?
What was dangerous about, like, all right, basically like certain times you could, like, my mom would try to make me go in the house like earlier than a certain time, because at nighttime, like around 9, 10, like that's usually the time where stuff get cracking, 11, 12, like it just wee hours, like it just get late, like you're not really supposed to be outside if you ain't got no purpose, if you ain't really going nowhere purposefully, you feel me?
Right. Okay, so let me ask you this. You say it was dangerous, but there's different forms of danger. So I don't want to assume, and I don't want the viewers to assume, when you say it was dangerous growing up there, what are you talking about? It could be dangers of like, people robbing people, or just
like,
dangers
that's what I mean.
of
like
gang
it's typical,
culture.
like all of that, like robbing, typical thing, like robbing, shooting, killings.
Okay. What gangs are over there in that area?
I grew up in, we're near the Rolling Hundreds, the 90s, stuff like that.
All right. Okay. And you're not involved in any of that?
No.
All right. So how, with you growing up over there, I'm pretty sure you knew everybody over there since you were born there, right? You lived there your whole life. I'm pretty sure you grew up and knew niggas. How were you able to steer away from that?
Like I said, like
lifestyle?
Pretty much just like I play sports. So like I was saying in the beginning, it was kind of easier for me to steer away from that because I really wanted to play basketball. You feel me? So I see all the like the members and all that. I knew all the members and all that, but they knew me for one thing, and that was basketball.
Right.
So you know what I'm saying? So it's pretty. I just go do me, go practice, go to my games and shit, like tournaments. I play travel ball.
Right.
So that's pretty much like what steered me away from all that. Like,
okay.
You feel me?
What age did you start playing basketball? Tell us a little bit about that. How'd you start?
I started playing basketball. I was like 4 years old, 3 years old. So I don't even know. I was so small. Can't even remember. I was like 3 or 4 or some shit.
But you always played it in school for school teams and stuff?
Yeah, always.
In high school too?
Yeah.
Okay. Until
I graduated. Then that's when I really only wanted to go to college for basketball. So when I graduated, I noticed I didn't really have grades like that. So now I'm going to have to do something else.
So let me ask you this. Nobody was telling you at the school? Like, yo, you got to get your grades up so you can go to school as well.
Yeah, but I had distractions at the same time too.
What were some of the distractions?
Some of the distractions, like I was, like, you know how like at a certain age you get like, after just doing so much for so long, like basketball or whatever it is that you was doing, you get curious of what's going on, like what other people doing, like I don't know,
Right.
you get what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
so I start tipping off. I start, oh yeah, like, oh that's cool, y'all doing that, like tip, like just you know, finding my way, like finding my way,
experiencing different things,
exactly.
but it may not be compatible with doing sports and living that type
so
of
that
lifestyle.
kind of was like steering me away from the sports. You feel me? But at the same time, you get me. I'm like, you get me? It's like
you're still there.
That shit pulling me, but I'm like, oh, I got
right.
So once I got to a certain point, it's like I can't waste too much time trying to do this if it ain't, you know what I'm saying? But I always love it though, basketball and the sports and shit. I be watching.
Okay. So
play a little bit.
You still play a little bit?
It's a little bit, yeah.
So what position did you play?
I played point guard.
I don't know what that is, but what
point guard, that's like the floor general, basically the person who always got the ball. You see it from me.
Okay, so if your parents could describe you as a kid, how do you think your parents would describe you growing up? How do you think they would say you were?
They'd say I was a good kid for sure. Like I was a cool kid.
Cool.
I was cool. I wasn't just all the way good. You feel me? I was cool. I had my fuck up times. You feel me? But for the most part, I didn't really like do too much. Call my mama too much stress. I wasn't in and out of jail. You feel me?
So you never went to jail?
No, I've been to jail for sure. But
okay.
I wasn't. I'm saying, you get what I'm saying? I wasn't.
Right.
I wasn't.
You weren't. It wasn't something that was frequently happening.
Yeah, exactly.
to you.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
I have to ask that because it is something for a lot of the people I've interviewed. You would probably be my 100th interview. Actually, I think I think maybe I have to look at them, or you might be past 100. But I've done just about 100, and mostly everybody I've interviewed are LA niggas that's been to jail and gang members and different shit. So I like to ask because everybody's experiences about it is different.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And it's interesting. I know the viewers love it. You know, when they get to hear a different insight on something that they are not going to experience or haven't experienced. You know, there's some good in everybody's bad situations. Even if it's not good for you, it's good for somebody else. You know what I mean? Someone else can learn from it. But all right, so would you say that you were more of a kid that was out in the streets? Were you getting involved even though you weren't gangbanging? Were you out there with them in the mix? Did you have any moments?
Yeah.
You know, when did you feel like you hopped off the porch?
I hopped off the porch right about like I was low key late for real. Cause I told you like I was playing basketball. Like I wasn't really doing that. I say like like junior, senior year, like right when you feel me.
Don't feel bad. I was late too.
Yeah, that wasn't my thing for real.
What came first as far as what you were introduced to, music or sports? Because it seems like the sports were who you were before the music.
Yeah, for sure. But I always loved music though. Like even though sports was before music, like I used to, like my mom used to have me going to church, shit like that. So I always always had that ear for it. But
so when were you introduced to music?
When I was introducing my cousin introduced me to music. He was recording on a laptop. So he was like the first one to like show me like, oh yeah, like look, I made this little track like. But my mom really introduced me to music because like I said, she used to play Tupac and shit. So like, I used to always hear Tupac, and, like other Mary J. Blige.
What age was that?
I probably was around like I was a kid, like a young kid, 9, 10, 11, going and more until I got older.
Okay.
Listen to my own stuff.
And when you had that moment with your cousin and he was showing you beats he made, you said?
Nah, he was showing me like on the laptop, like it was like not BandLab, it was like
Bandcamp, I think it's called.
Some recording little program, but he was showing me on that. I probably was like 13, 12, 11 or something. I don't even know. Something like that. He was showing me, that was the first time he showed me like how to make a song and shit, like what he was doing. Was he
a rapper?
Nah, he was a rapper, but like not seriously. You feel me? He was just showing me like, you know, he could make music. Like, I'm like, oh yeah, like what the ooh. And I figured out I could make music too. Like, when I told you I went to go record my first song, Like, but before that, I used to just like kind of like keep it to myself, like rap to myself.
So when did you discover that you could make music? Where was the moment? What did you do? Like
the first time I went to the studio when I made my first song. Like,
what brought you to the studio? The cousin situation?
Yeah, and then really just me, like, I was just rapping to myself, and I'm like, all right, like, let me, I don't know. I used to always think, like, you couldn't even just go to the studio. I think you just had to be, like, a big artist. So, on me, like,
I did have different misconceptions of the industry until I got in the industry and I started doing interviews, and I see how it really is. I used to think certain things, too. But it's this easy as just, somebody.
Yeah, so I'm scrolling or whatever, and I find the studio. I don't know how I found Ron studio. I can't even remember at the time, but he was engineering at that studio at the time.
Okay, wait, pause. What year was this?
Like 2015, maybe 2015, 2016.
How old were you?
I was like, I graduated 2016, so I was probably like 18.
Okay.
18.
Did you ever dabble with making music yourself before this? Did you ever dabble with like making a song, making a rap, have a moment? I know you were introduced to music itself from your mom, but did you ever have any moments where,
like I said, with my cousin, I was like 13.
But did you make a song that day with him?
I probably hopped on a song with him. I don't think I made my own song.
So, okay, then that's kind of interesting. So if you had never actually made a song, you were a sports player, you kind of had musical background from your family, but you never made a song.
Right.
Never really heard yourself execute anything. What was it that made you want to go do music of all the things you could have did outside of sports? You could have been a postman.
Like, I don't know.
Could have cut meat.
Nah, I don't know what. Yeah, you're right. I could have did anything, but
like, what was it? You have to know what it is. I know your supporters are gonna want to know.
Like, what? I don't know. I just figured it out.
Like, was it were you seeing people on TV getting money? Like, what was it that was like, hold on, this is something I could be a part of too? Like, if you never had did it before.
Seeing people, all that, like, typical stuff, seeing people on TV, of course, like, Michael Jackson and shit, like, certain people and shit, but.
Right.
I don't know, like I said, I just try myself. Like, I just love music, it just came to me. I don't know what made me, like, for real, really start, like, I don't know, I can't really remember. Shit,
okay.
I'm just like, I'm gonna try it. I just tried it.
Try it and see where it goes.
Yeah,
like, what were things happening with you in your life at that moment before you got to the point of going around Ron's studio and really starting to execute the rap life? What were some of the beginning things before that happening for you?
Beginning things.
Like where were you at your point in your life when you were like, okay, I'm gonna go finally try to make a fucking song?
Like I told you, I had just graduated high school. Mm-hmm. So I was finding myself for real.
Okay.
Because I knew I wasn't gonna play sports. Because I have grades. Mm-hmm. So that's where I was in. Like, I was just doing music. I was just running around. Probably, like, trying to find little jobs or something. Like, I worked a couple jobs, probably, like, a few jobs.
What were some of the jobs you worked?
I worked at 7-Eleven. Worked at Smarter Fine. I worked at Jersey Mike's. Them, like, the three I can remember. And I probably worked at a couple warehouses or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you always had the hustle and the drive. Now, what do you feel? Okay, how old were you when you graduated? 17 or 18?
I was like 17 or 18, maybe about to turn 18.
Okay, what do you feel like made you have such a drive and motivation so young? Because everyone's life and journey is different. Yeah. Like, when did you know at a young age, I need to have independence?
Like, always, not always, but like since I was younger, because my pops, he wasn't the type of like pops like to really like hand me nothing.
Okay.
So like,
were your parents together?
Yeah.
Okay.
So like he was like, I just watching him and like watching how he hustle and stuff, and how my mom hustled and worked for everything she got for real. So that's where my drive come from. Just seeing like my parents, they instilled that in me since I was younger. So I've always been like that.
Right. Okay. All right. So everything that you did right before you went to Ron's. Let us know a little bit about that.
Everything I did really before, like, let me see, like, I ain't gonna lie, I was just like being in the house for real sometime with my homies kicking it, and then I'd be like working on some little like I told you, rapping and trying to like rap a little bit. This was before right before I got to Ron.
Okay.
So yeah, I used to try to rap a little bit. Like this, where the motivation came from, like my homies for real.
Did you have any homies that were already rapping or anything?
Nah, not for real. Nah.
Okay. So it was just you.
Yeah. Like after I started rapping around, I did have a couple like homies that I tried to like make some tracks with and do some things with. Like that was like
Mm-hmm.
So like it's just over time you just get into like different things. Like it's so much. Like, but yeah, like right before I went to Ron, like, that's what I was doing for real. Just like really just posting and kicking with my homies, like hustling, going to work.
Mm-hmm.
Like I started smoking weed around that time a little bit right before then.
What age was this? 18, right?
Yeah, I started smoking probably like 17 or something, 16,
okay.
17. But yeah, that's 18 when I probably ran in around.
Okay.
So around that time.
Now, you just seen that he had a studio session open? Did you know?
I was on Instagram or something. I booked a session. Whoop, whoop. I didn't really have no whip or nothing at the time, so I'm like, I had somebody come get me or something. One of my, probably my cousin peoples or something, they came to come pick us up. And we pulled up to that motherfucker. Went in there, met around or whatever, loaded up the little YouTube. I was doing YouTube beats. I didn't even have no producer. I didn't have no nothing.
Right.
Nothing that I have.
Did you have any songs out at this time?
No.
But did you make any?
I probably made a couple on the phone, but not really like I never recorded on the studio.
On the actual studio. Okay.
Yeah, I went in there and this is around the time I used to write too. I don't really write like that now. Sometimes I do.
Okay.
If I need to, but I used to write. I had some shit already wrote up already or whatever a little bit. I went in there and I did it like probably like 1 or 2 takes, a few takes, 4 takes, because I already had it written. So it was
right.
But,
right.
Yeah, that shit, and it came out good. I remember it was called like Ain't Half Shit or something. I can't remember.
Ain't Half Shit.
Yeah, some shit like that.
All right.
Yeah, I made 2 tracks. I made one with my cousin too that day.
And what year was this again? 2015.
Probably like 2016.
Okay.
2017. Maybe.
And how old were you? 18, 19?
Like 18, 19. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So from there you dropped it. What was the reaction from the crowd? From the supporters out there?
It was actually fucking with it, and that's what like really made me like, damn, like maybe I can do this shit. Like y'all fuck with this, like, bro, like all right, bet I'm finna just keep it going. Then, like like, so I just kept it going from there.
Where do you? Okay, so how did you know? This is how I'm gonna execute it. This is what I'm gonna do. This is how I'm gonna sound. How'd you come up with all of that? Do you feel like you had any musical inspiration, or was that just all from you? Like you don't sound like anybody.
Yeah, no, I for sure got a lot of like people I didn't like over the my younger days.
Yeah,
inspired me.
Yeah, like when you very first started executing your sound, did it sound like how it sounds now?
Probably like Detroit artists. I used to listen to a lot of like Detroit, and then like
who were some of the people
LA,
out
like,
there you listen to?
I started listening to like P. Influenced me like to get on a more like I wouldn't say like structure, but kind of like how like in depth, like talk about some real shit, kind of like a real shit, kind of like some real shit, like you feel me? But yeah, probably like P-Eazy. I used to listen to like Lil Wayne.
Okay.
Shit, Drake. For a couple I can name right there.
Right. Okay, but you don't sound like none of them, so you probably got inspired in certain ways, but not as far as the sound goes.
Yeah.
So how did you come up with that way?
Draco too.
Okay.
Draco, I listened to Draco when I was younger. Well, when I started finding my sound, like I think it was like RJ. We used to listen to like RJ, Draco.
Okay. Long live Draco the ruler.
Long live Draco for sure. Like trying different sounds for real, like
playing with shit.
Yeah. Like I would like test out different flows and sounds and stuff, and then find which one was kind of like the one that I can. That's not really my sound. You. Yeah, like that I can keep. You get what I'm saying? Like keep making songs on for real.
So in that moment, did you ever have songs where you felt like these are just not that good? Like I'm gonna have to throw these the fuck away because let's get back to the drawing board. Like how many of those did you have before you feel like you had a hit?
Not a lot though.
Now the one you made with Ron Ron, do you feel like that was your breakthrough moment? No. After you did the stuff with Ron Ron, what happened after that?
Like really like the people around me start like letting other people know like, oh yeah, it's hard too. Like so
Mm-hmm.
it kind of like, I guess you can kind of say like a little more people start finding out that I make music.
Okay.
After that, so then like I actually put out music after that, like a song on SoundCloud. I was using SoundCloud before Apple Music and all that shit. Like
right
before I knew how to drop on that, I was using SoundCloud. I had dropped a couple tracks on there.
Okay.
I had about like 4 tracks on there on SoundCloud. Then that's when I started getting hip to like Apple Music. Probably like 4 or 5 tracks on SoundCloud. I wasn't getting paid or nothing like that. You feel me? So yeah, from there. Then then I figured out the Apple Music shit. I started putting my shit on Apple Music. And then, like I just started like my fan base started growing from there.
What age was that around that time?
This was after Ron, a little bit after Ron. Like,
were you still working with Ron after this?
Nah, Ron was just like the engineer at that studio at the time.
So he engineered your song?
Yeah, he engineered it. He recorded
so he didn't, okay, interesting, because I know Ron to be a producer. I didn't know he knew how to engineer.
Yeah, he been engineering.
So he didn't make the beat?
Nah, I was a YouTube beat.
Oh, okay, got you. All right, what happened after that?
Like I put it on Instagram. Like, and then like the more and more people just gravitated to my music, like more and more as I went.
Now, did you make any more songs after that one?
Yep, I actually made like a few more tracks, and then I put out my first, like, I guess you could say the first song that I actually like tried on, like not tried, but like that I thought was gonna be like, okay, this is a good song. This is a good song. Like, I felt it was a good song. It's called Can't Say No. This was probably like 2018. No, this was like 2 years ago.
Okay.
I don't know what year. 2021. Something like that.
Yeah, that was about 2 years ago. Okay. And how did that song do?
That song actually did good. I like low key directed my first video, like with the videographer. Took him to like a couple places where I grew up and stuff. I did it like that. And then yeah, that actually did good. I had like 2,000 views in like the first week or something, which was like pretty big to me at the time. But you know, so that was pretty cool. Like it motivated me like more and more like. And then that song I actually recorded in a bigger studio than Ron, the Can't Say No one, which is the first little track with the video. So that one was like the one I felt like, oh yeah, this hard. Like yeah, and everybody around me like, oh yeah, this hard. Like yeah, you hard. Like so it's just motivation. All around. Bro.
Okay, you called yourself up and coming earlier, but I think you're a little bit more than up and coming. You're pretty well known in LA and probably just in California in general, or maybe a little bit outside of California. You know, I don't know the demographic of your fan base, but you know, so what were some of the things you went through, sacrifices you made, good and bad, to get where you are right now?
Like a lot of times, like a lot of sacrifices I made, like really like probably like doing certain things, like not communicating with my people, just wandering off, just like finding myself. But sacrifices for real, like just like sacrifice for sure, not playing sports really, because like that was what I really wanted to do. So I'm like, all right, boom, I gotta really put my mind to the music shit for real. So
right.
Kind of like that, and then like a lot of like doing a lot of stuff like that I used to do, because like now when you doing music, it's like a lot of stuff you can't do no more when you start focusing on music. Like being with a lot of homies or people that I used to be with that I'm on a different path now. So like. I don't know, it's just like, you know, like a lot of sacrifices like that. Like, sacrifices even with being with my family, like, sometimes, you feel me? Because I'm always chasing this certain thing that I'm chasing.
Right.
So, you know, that's pretty much.
As far as, like, did you go through any struggles? I thought a few people on here that had to sleep in their cars, some that went broke, they were homeless.
Yeah, I went broke, like.
How much money do you feel like you put into the music and all that?
I put a lot of money in the music for real, like a lot into like everything. You feel me? Studio, videos, like I sacrificed a lot. Sleeping on the floor, all type of stuff. Even though even though I could go home to my mom's shit, but I'm so like I'm on go and I'm just so you know how I be. So like I mean, for sure had some struggles like nigga not eating sometimes, nigga not sleeping sometimes. Shit, it's a lot. Like nigga go through depression, nigga want to quit. I didn't plenty of times I didn't want to quit. Like
I wanted to quit yesterday.
Like, man, exactly.
No, but you know I asked this because your supporters don't know this side of you.
Right.
And they're not going to expect that we, as like people that do interviews, rappers, we go through things. But everybody is human. So I think that it's good for you guys to open up on here and let everybody know exactly what you went through to get where you are. To let people know they can get there too.
Oh yeah, it ain't you could prevail. You gotta keep going for real. That's all.
You know, and I mean,
give up.
One might see you or me or just any other person and be, think that things were easy for us because we might be connected, we might know certain people, but there's a lot of sacrifices that were made to get there. And I think that the stories need to be told so people can understand why you are the way you are and you make the music you make. It's like a reflection of your journey type shit. Like, did you go through things? Did you have to like have moments where you was like, you know what? I'm just not going to do shit else and focus just on this. And yes, you did. And that's the reason why you're as successful as you are today. What were some of the reasons that you felt like you wanted to quit at a given point in time?
Maybe like just getting discouraged, not seeing certain numbers, probably seeing other just certain stuff like that, like that probably discouraged me. Like maybe sometimes where I didn't have that motivation in the studio and I wasn't making as good as enough songs I felt like I could, like good tracks like I felt like I could. That probably discouraged me sometimes. But like no, like really I was just practicing. So like even though it did discourage me, I still wasn't like to where like I was like all right, like fuck it. I just was practicing anyway. So it's like
right.
I kind of just like fuck it, like I'm learning, like I ain't tripping.
Right. What were some of the things that motivated you, or if it was some people that motivated you to continue to keep going on when you wanted to quit? Because I know I have personal reasons on why I won't stop doing interviews. But I do want to be quitting because I be tired of these niggas and the politics. And
maybe like I just find that motivation again. Like I try to like go to the studio or go be around my homies or something. Like, something like to help me find that motivation again quick. Because nigga can't, like, I think like that, like, oh yeah, I want to quit, but I gotta go do something. I can't just sit there.
Right.
You get me? So I gotta go try to make some music. I gotta try to go do something for somebody else at least, or something make them feel good. That at least make me feel good. Like,
right.
So like I don't know.
Outside of music, what are some of the things that make you happy besides playing basketball? What were some things that you like to do to get you back in like a level-headed, positive headspace?
Level-headed, positive headspace. Besides music, you said?
Yeah, besides music.
Like really like probably being around my peoples. Like when you go back to your peoples, you get that reality. Like you get back to reality, kind of like. So I go back and be around my folks or something like. Probably just be at the crib and then just get some more time to myself. And,
you look like you like being by yourself.
I do.
When's your birthday?
July 29th.
Oh my God, are you a Cancer?
Leo,
but you're you're semi a Cancer. Yeah, because Cancer's at the beginning of July, right?
Semi-Cancer, I guess you could say that.
Yeah, because they like to be. They'll come out like a crab. They're crabs. They'll come out and frolic, and then they'll go back in their shells. You seem like you might be very introverted.
Yeah, low key. I'm trying to get out of that though. I'm trying to be like more like
Yeah. You give a really good interview. You might be introverted, but you know your life and you know your story, and you're very comfortable talking about it and allowing people into your world, and you're open about it. So keep that trait, because it's gonna get you far. It's gonna make everybody relate to you more. Your music is really bomb right now, but with age, you like I didn't just wake up this fine. You know what I mean? Like this happened in years. I'm 32.
Yeah.
You know? So with that being said, everything will marinate over time. So when you wake up one day and you look back at this interview, you're gonna be like, damn, I was so comfortable with who I was then. But I know exactly who I am now. Right. And that shit gonna feel so great. When it comes to like how you execute music, is there anything that you need in the studio? Anything you need around? Anything you don't like? You seem like you like shit like, perfect.
Yeah, like a lot of people, they probably think like, I don't know, like I'm the type of, like when I record, I really just I make my best songs with just me and my producer.
Okay.
Just me and him. But like I record around, like I make good music around a lot of people too. Cause I go up, like I see them vibing. Okay, they like that style. You know, they like how I'm going with this. You feel me? Or something like, or if they don't, like, let me say something else. Like say something real quick. That, oh yeah, they back on it. I don't know. I just, you know, it's just certain vibes. Like I'm really comfortable though with a lot of people. But I make my best music with just me and my producer when we get in our bag and we got that chemistry.
Right. So, do you plan out how you're gonna make certain songs like themed?
And another thing I do, I probably just like roll up and smoke or something like.
Right.
Or something. That's regular. I plan out. Yeah, sometimes I do plan out. Like I structure it out before I even start rapping. Sometimes, or sometimes I just cut the beat on. Like if I cook the beat up and I like it, I hear it, and I'm already like rapping to it. Just load it up, then I'm out to freestyle. Yeah, but sometimes I structure and like I'll write a couple things down, or I'll stay on a certain topic that we already was talking about before I hopped on the mic, and yeah, sometimes like that. Either way, it's really all different ways. It just depends on how niggas.
When did you start dropping shit and people start fucking with it and you start going viral and getting more attention? Do you feel like you had a viral moment? Talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, I feel like I had a couple viral moments. I feel like maybe like when I really started like getting traction or something like that. After I dropped my first project, Love or Hate Me. Okay. It had a couple songs on there that people was gravitating to. Maybe after a while though, like, cause I had dropped the project maybe around like April, and maybe like it took me like a month or two to drop the video to this one song called Shady Freestyle. That's like my biggest song for real. So I dropped that visual, and then like over time, like they just start like going through like listening to like everything else that I was putting out. So that's what kind of like really like, yeah, that's when I kind of gained some traction. But my viral moment, maybe I had like a couple viral moments. They go off Instagram, kind of like they go to it off your Instagram. So I did like certain little collabs with certain little
like, what do you feel like was the most detrimental thing that you did to get you where you at? Because everybody knows what they did to get themselves on.
Yeah, I feel like what I did really was I stayed consistent for real. That's like
number one.
Overall number one. But some other things I did, like I just kept like putting it in their face, like just posting my shit every day. Just really grinding, making songs, making tracks, posting my music every day. Staying consistent, dropping song after song, consistent, dropping visuals. Like just really consistency for real overall. That's like the biggest thing. Like it's smaller things in that, but consistency. Just stay consistent for real.
Did you have any connections or any help at the beginning to like kind of put you on? Anybody that was out here in the LA music scene that was helping you, or anything, or was you just doing it all on your own?
No.
Or with your team? Do you have a team?
I got not really a team, but I got people that I work with. I wouldn't say a team because I'm not really all together, but it's people that I get help from, right? Talk to and that I work with. But in the beginning, I had ran across a few people like maybe that probably like put me on to a few studios or something like little things like not really much, but for the most part like really just for myself, just grinding like by myself, just.
How did you know what to do? Who taught you? Because you seem like you know exactly what to do, and you didn't have a lot of people play a big hand in it. So how did you know? Like
I said, like just watching like the business. I mean, like not like watching the business, but watching like how other artists was moving and like going. Just watching the structure, just watching what they doing, and that's how I go along the way. Like how I know what to do for me. I just put it into my own life. Like I see how like certain artists that I was watching was like Peasy.
Mm-hmm.
I see what he was doing, like interviews and certain little stuff, videos, merch, or like going to the studio, dropping this, put this, or drop this with a video, or put this on your tape, or drop this like this. Like just I don't know, just paying attention along the way for real. That's how I really know what to do. Like I don't really have no manager or nothing. Like I don't have no
you don't have a manager?
No label. I'm independent. No, I have like people. Like you know what I'm saying? Like really, I manage myself really, but I have people. Like I said, once again, I have people that I do.
But I'm pretty sure people want to manage you, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Why do you think you haven't decided to have one yet?
It just ain't came time yet for real. Like I'm getting there. I'm getting like all that worked out though now. Along the way, I just really just been managing myself. Like everything that you see me do, like I'm most of the time I'm mostly talking to them, or like I'm mostly like, you know, going to go put the legwork in, or putting the money up for it, or whatever it is. Like, you know, for sure.
How do you feel about growing up in LA, being an LA resident, native from birth, and seeing how the culture of the streets and the politics of the gang culture and all of that, how they tie into the music nowadays for your generation, for my generation, of what we're listening to? We know that there's always been music based around that, but it's now happening with rappers that don't look like an ideal gang member or people that are not from a necessary gang. There's a lot of LA politics that are in the music, and we all know them. We don't talk about them, but we know them. So how do you feel about them, and how do you maneuver around them and not get yourself involved in them?
Really, I just for the most part I mind my business, but really I just stick to myself. Like I don't really try to like really hang or really associate with any type of crowd. So that's really pretty much how you kind of.
So you don't feel like you have a LA rap clique?
Nah.
Outside of whoever you bring in?
Yeah, nah.
You're not affiliated with any other sections of, you make music with who you make music with, but you make the song and get out. You don't sit there and do extras to where anybody can say, oh, he fuck with this person, so now I'm not gonna fuck with him.
Yeah, everything I'm just handling business, like
right.
I move with purpose for real. So.
Well, the reason I asked the question is, it is eventually, the more you make music, the more you get mainstream, the more people that are out here that are involved in them, that are mainstream, you will eventually have to be faced with them. So that's the reason why I asked, like, how do you feel about them? Like, because they're politics, and we know the politics, but the more deeper you get into the LA music scene, the deeper you get in them. Yeah. So it's like, how do you feel? Do you feel like you're going to be able to always just be neutral or non-affiliated?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know. For real, I don't know.
Exactly. I know you don't know, because it's like you'll wake up one day and it could change that quick with this shit.
I don't know. Like I really can't speak for that. Like what's gonna happen in the future, but as of who I am and what I'm doing right now, like I'm me, I'm myself. I move on my own. But I respect all the like, you know, all the politics and everything for sure. Like for the most part, if it's business, I like to just handle my business. You gotta respect it if I'm handling my business. You can't.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Right.
And if you don't, then it's like, that's on you. Then it's not for me to help you understand. That's on you.
Right. Have you had any issues with anybody for who you've made songs with or anything like that?
No.
Okay. All right. The music is built around this, especially with the younger generation of rappers that are from 18 to 28. And you guys all fit in there.
It's hard. I'm not gonna lie to you.
It's hard.
It's hard.
Even with me doing interviews, it's hard. You know what I mean? So it's like, you have to be very careful. But if you're one of those that let it be known from the gates that I'm not picking or choosing, then I think that's the best way to California in general is creative with the music scene. We're very respected. But LA as a whole has taken a whole entire different journey than I've known of LA music to be from when I was growing up.
Right.
The gang shit is way more predominant than it was before.
For sure.
So it has to be talked about.
You knowing business and you gotta know the difference.
Exactly.
That's up to you, the person. You have to know the difference between business and what's not business.
Exactly.
So a person like me, I'm only taking care of business. Anything that ain't business, don't involve me in it because I'm not even around.
Right. Where do you feel like the music inspiration comes from, and how much do you feel like growing up in LA, in your area in LA, inspires the music?
I feel like it do a lot. It's like being around you know, it's like a lot going on. So it's like you get influenced for real. You know what I'm saying? You get hip to certain things. So I feel like for sure, like it play a big part in, like, you know.
Make party music. You feel like you make ass shaking. Like what you feel like?
I feel like it's probably like shit talking music, like not party music, but they some of my songs is party music, playing clubs and parties and shit. But I feel like it's really just like shit talking, me telling like my experiences in certain little situations and shit. I relate different certain things to like movies and I like to use metaphors. I like to like make rap fun, like, you know,
right?
Not just like, you know, just talking. I make it fun, you know, interesting,
right?
And relate certain things so people can understand and be like, oh yeah, I know, like that's hard. I know what you're talking about. Like, what you get what I'm saying? Like, yeah, like make it, you know, less dull. But
so where do you see yourself in the next couple of years, and where you want to take your music career?
The next couple of years, I really see myself doing like bigger platform of things, like bigger shows. I feel like I'll probably maybe be doing like movies or something. Like I'll get into acting for sure. Like I be watching a lot of TV, so that also play a lot into music too, because I'm able to relate certain things to, like I said, movies and shows and certain things too that people know. Because I watch a lot of TV. When you watch a lot of TV, it's like you get smart. You know.
Yeah, for sure. You see things that because there's a lot of scenarios being made up, but it's things that would happen.
Read books too, like reading books and watching TV. You get smart. I started off reading a little bit, but like when you're doing so much, like you can't really got time. Really be having time to like read like that, unless it's on the audio or something. I can listen to some shit on the go.
So all together, because I don't think I asked this yet. How long have you been rapping?
Altogether, probably like, I want to say like
taking it serious and stuff.
Maybe like 2 years.
Okay, and before that, how long? From
maybe like another like year and a half or two.
So you've only been rapping for like the last couple of years.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, the last couple of years.
Okay. Do you like the reaction you've gotten from it so far?
Yeah, for sure. Like I like the reaction. Like I be getting like a lot of love. Like I have a lot of like a cool fan base, you feel me? People that be like supporting my music, posting my music and stuff, and going to go download my music, like my streaming and everything. Like yeah, like it's getting there. Like I appreciate all that shit, for real. I feel like I've gotten far there than when I first started, for sure. Like I've actually gotten somewhere.
You've actually felt like
progression.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I meant to say. Yeah.
Okay. Have you started making money off your music?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. Do you feel like it's at a comfortable spot, like what you expected? I know you not fully what you expected.
Yeah, no, I'm not comfortable. Like,
is it better though? You know?
Yeah, no, for sure.
Than what you thought?
For sure, yeah.
Okay.
For sure, way better than what I thought. I didn't think it would be like that.
Right.
Yeah.
So with your newfound like attention image, because I mean your rap persona is that who you feel like you really are? Are they separated?
I feel like I have an alter ego, like, you feel me? Like, I mean, like when I'm obviously rapping and doing music, I'm a little more like, my energy is like
different.
More, but when I'm people who know me, like I'm like real humble. I'm like real, like I'm cool, like I'm laid back. I got an alter ego, like I got two sides, like than me when I'm doing music, for real. But I'm the same, all in one. It's still me. Like I'm.
Got you.
You get what I'm saying?
For sure. As far as the music goes, what do you have out already, and what do you have coming out? Because you have a lot of songs that have streamed well. So tell us those, and tell us where they can find those, and all that.
Like my most streamed songs, like Shady Freestyle, Vanilla Cream Soda. Those who may know. White Collar, Greedy, Can't Say No, so many for real. But I dropped about like 5 projects over these past like 2 years, like that I've been doing music. I dropped about like 5, 6 projects. So you got Love or Hate Me. I got Love or Hate Me. It's my very first project with Shady, Overthinking, Practice, and then I got my second project, which was Unavailable. I got White Collar, a song called Charged Up. It's a couple joints on there. Then I got another project. Well, that was actually called In a Minute. The last one I just named. That's what I meant to name, In a Minute. And then the third project was Unavailable. And then you can stream those everywhere. Like all my projects, they on all platforms. You can find my music everywhere, like TikTok, Apple Music, YouTube, everywhere, like everything really.
Okay. And what songs do you have out with featured LA artists? I know you have one with Ralphie the Plug on his new tape, No Bloopers. Yeah. I seen that one on there. And let us know a few other ones that you have out with featured LA artists.
That I got out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a couple joints with Ralphie the Plug out. I got one on my project I just dropped, my latest project. It's called I can't even remember right now, but it's a song on there that I got with Ralphie on there.
Okay.
And then I got some. Who else I got songs with? True Car.
Okay.
Really, it's like I ain't really dropped that much music that I got with bigger artists that's out yet. So yeah, in the beginning I really just like
Do you like working with other artists, or
yeah,
do you
like
rather?
It's cool. Like if it's like
if it's organic and it's natural and ain't forced or weird. Exactly. Is there anybody else that you want to work with in LA that you see yourself working with in the future?
For sure, like maybe 03 Greedo. I like Greedo.
Okay.
I like Greedo music.
All right.
Blast dope.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of a couple more.
I think you'd be hard with Blast then.
Why did you say dope? Bino dope. That's for like I could name for real. I worked with Kaden for real. That was cool. He like a real like genuine dude. That was cool.
He seems genuine as fuck. Shout out to Kaylin.
Shout out Kay.
What song is that called? Or you haven't dropped it yet?
Yeah.
It's a spoiler. Is it gonna come out?
Yeah, it's gonna come out for sure.
Okay.
It's gonna come out.
Let us know.
Be on the lookout for that. Sometimes I'm not gonna say I don't know, but
you don't know when.
Look out, yeah. And then I also got a new project that's dropping. Actually, like maybe in like a week or 2. I'm aiming for like next week. I'm gonna get him a little date in a minute, but it's gonna be called. My new project is called Better Me. So there's really like a style. It's like a different style, like a bunch of different styles on there, a bunch of different like vibes. You feel me? But it's mostly just like me, like showing like me and my progression as an artist for real.
Right.
So it's called Better Me.
Okay.
So yeah, y'all be on the lookout for that. There's some spicy joints on there. Yeah, I'm
you have any other songs coming up? Any shows or anything?
I just did like a lot of. I ain't gonna lie. I just did like a lot of little shows. I just did a show in Asia. My cousin Asia and friends. That was cool.
Okay.
But shows coming up. I don't know. Like I'm gonna be popping out. Y'all gonna see me. I ain't. I'm gonna be just now. I'm gonna be popping out. Y'all gonna see me at some shows for sure. I don't know which ones or nothing, but.
You said Asia, the rapper from here, the girl.
Yeah, she from Compton.
Yeah. Okay. So that's your cousin.
Yeah.
Oh, shout out to Asia. I love her music.
Bro.
Yeah.
That was cool. Like. She like make sure she like be trying to include me into little stuff like that she got going.
Did you guys always grow up together?
Yeah, I wasn't like always like we was like I would always be around, but like we didn't have like a kind of like a close conversation. But no, we always grew up together for sure.
Okay, so it's not like how people be lying and saying it's their cousin.
No, that's my blood cousin. No, we family reunion like all that. Like
okay,
like granny, like all that, like auntie, cousin, and all that. Yeah, like we really close. Like our people's is close, but. Me and Asia just now starting to like connect more, you feel me? Through music and everything that's going on.
Okay, all right. So, all right. Well, before we get into the very last question I have for you, I definitely want to appreciate you for taking time out your day to come on the vlog and let us get a little bit in depth into your life and how you are and the way you grew up and what makes you who you are as a person. I appreciate you a lot.
I appreciate you for having me. For sure.
Oh, thank you. What message do you have for your supporters out there that are young, that are trying to get their foot in the door, that are trying to make music, that are trying to do anything, that might be looking at you as inspiration? What message can you give them?
Like, really, like, I'm not gonna lie, like, you're gonna have ups and downs for one. Like, I'm gonna tell you that right now. Like, it ain't gonna be, you ain't gonna always get shit handed to you. You're gonna have some ups and downs. You feel me? But it's really on you to, like, really, like, push through and keep going. Like, you gotta stay consistent. Like, what you're doing, you really gotta be dedicated. Like, it's a lot of people that think, like, you could just say, I wanna do this or I wanna do that. But you actually gotta dedicate your time and really, like you said, sacrifice a lot of stuff and really, really chase what you know what I'm saying, what you chasing, whatever it is, music or whatever, like sports or whatever. You really got to be dedicated to what you're doing and really put your all into it and know that you're going to have to sacrifice some stuff. You're not going to be able to do certain things. You feel me? A lot of stuff going to come your way. You're going to get hit with certain obstacles and stuff, you just got to keep going and stay motivated and don't worry about what other people think for real too, because I know how that get. Like, you might get discouraged because it's like you feel me, like on other people's opinion of you or on what's going on Instagram or social media or whatever. You just got to stay on your path and because God already got a plan for you, like it's already written. So you got to just do what you got to do to keep chasing and keep going, keep progressing, for real. That's what I could tell him.
Okay, I agree with you 100%. Now let me ask you this real quick. Did you lose any friends or family members or any people when you were coming up on this journey from beginning to where you are now? Did you lose any people that you thought that would be here right now? And if so, give us a little quick example of what happened, if you can.
Yeah, well, I lost my great grandmother for sure. She was already like kind of like like sick and not well. She was staying in the Bay Area, so we had like sometimes we'd round up and go travel and go visit her and stuff like that and go be with the family. Yeah, but I had lost my grandmother. Stuff like times like that is gonna be hard for real. Like, I feel like that's really make or break you for real, and I feel like they will want you to keep going along the process. So that's what really just keep a nigga motivated for real. But yeah, it'd be hard. Like I lost a couple homies too, like to gun violence in the streets. But like where we come from, that's low key like it's kind of like we get used to it. Like, you feel me? But like I don't know, like how we cope with it for real. We just keep our head up and keep going for them, knowing that they would want us to do better for real.
Right, for sure. For sure. Did you lose any friends that you thought would be around?
I lost a couple friends for sure. Like,
not to death, to the trials and tribulations that you go through when you're getting the next step of your life.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like it's a lot of people that I'm not around, like that's not around anymore because it's like when you doing what's best for you and you trying to get to that next level, everybody not gonna understand. Everybody not gonna understand your like your goal or your journey, like what you chasing. So everybody's not gonna be able to go with you as you keep going. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, for sure, I done lost like some people to that, some friends and some homies to that because they didn't understand where I was going with what I was doing, what I was chasing. They didn't understand, how I was moving on my principles, what morals I was standing on. You know what I'm saying? So like, yeah, it be like that. You may lose certain homies till you get into that next level. Everybody not gonna be able to go, and everybody not gonna understand.
Right. So, most definitely.
I haven't lost too many people though. Like
that's good. That's really good. You had solid.
I thank God I ain't really felt that like to where like you get me to where I'm like, ooh, like that hurt. Like my grandmother hurt for sure. But you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I haven't lost too many people though. So like
me neither.
It's kind of easier to cope. Like easier.
I haven't lost too many, but the ones I have lost, man, that shit hurt. But I haven't lost too many outside of like family members and shit. I know some people who lost like their mom, their dad. Like I have a close homie to me. Like he lost his mom and his dad. Damn.
So I would never understand.
Yeah, no.
How
I think we should take this moment to just say RIP to a lot of the people that have passed away this year. You know, it's a lot of people that have died in the last couple of years.
A lot of rappers.
Rappers like RIP Draco, Sway, Slowby, Key Riches, Infant, RIP, you know, Young Dolph, you know, RIP Catchy.
All of them, for real. They all got families and kids and stuff.
Long live my nigga JP that passed away back home. Long live my nigga Ingram, you know. But, alright, so, let the vlog know where they can find you.
Yeah, man, y'all can find me on all platforms. Y'all go search up HBK Jachi. I'm on Twitter, I'm on Instagram, I'm on all that.
Say it one more time, Jachi.
HBK Jachi.
Jachi.
Not Jakai, not Jackie.
I'm still gonna call you Jakai behind your back.
Oh man.
Cause that was hard. Like Jachi, it's hard to say.
Nah, it's not. It's just two sounds.
Jachi.
All
right. Do you have Twitter?
Oh yeah, I got Twitter too. I'll be on there low key on Twitter.
Okay. All right. And then, is there any shout outs you want to give to anybody or anything you want to say to the vlog before we sign off?
Shout out to everybody who been supporting me along the way. I want to shout out to my family, man. I want to shout out to just everybody who ever played. Jachi plays some HBK. Everybody, man. I appreciate everybody. Shout out to all y'all, all the fans, all the supporters, man.
All right.
Yep.
And thank you guys so much for subscribing to the channel, for viewing the videos, for listening to the artists, for following me on Instagram. My mixtape Free World Order will be dropping next month. It is a compilation of all the rappers I've interviewed and some I haven't interviewed. You guys do not want to miss this tape. There's some niggas on there. There's some heat on there. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that. Is there anything else you want to say before we sign off?
Man, thank y'all. Love y'all. Fuck with y'all.